A very good morning to you all. I, Dr. Vishal Jain, on behalf of BVICAM New Delhi, welcomes you all for one faculty development program on emerging technologies for education and research in Industry 4.0 during 6th June to 10th June 2020, organized by IIT Delhi section, AICT's Industry Institute Partnership Cell of BVICAM New Delhi in collaboration with IEEE Computer Society chapter of IIT Delhi section, Computer Society of India, Safa Society and IST Delhi section at BVICAM New Delhi. I hope and pray that all is good with you and your family during this difficult time as the global COVID-19 pandemic is still peaking around many countries. The objective of this is to nurture the research aptitude and competency development of the young faculty members, research scholars, and tech students, either doing research or to undertake research work under the domains of computer science, IT, and IT-enabled research areas. In this FDP, will be the technical sessions on number of topics by the academia and the industry. We have a introduction of data science, business analytics, image analytics, understanding of IPR and patent filing, object detection using machine learning, blockchain, and technologies for businesses in Industry 4.0. We have session on Moodle and role of industry in
An opportunity for me to share the information and the achievements of IEEE Delhi section to you all. At the moment, IEEE Delhi section is a flourishing community of more than 4,000 active members. It has 19 chapters that covers 39 societies, 4 affinity groups, 112 student branches, and around 35 student branch chapters. We introduced 3 new chapters in the year 2019. IEEE ITS Delhi chapter, Photonics Society chapter in Rajasthan, and Antenna and Propagation chapter in Jaipur. This year, to weave a strong network between industry and academia, we introduced 2 new student branches, an NIT Delhi and IIIT Delhi, and 2 new branch chapters in Jamia Millia Islamia University and IAS student branch chapter in Maharaja Agrasen Institute of Technology under IEEE Delhi section. I would also like to highlight the success this year in the terms of activities and recognition. Around 40 professional members were elevated to senior member grade in 2019. Delhi section has organized a number of activities jointly with other professional activities like Institute of Engineer, ISTE, and IETE. Our volunteers took active participation in activities organized by Region 10, Asia Pacific region, and India Council. As a result, the section has been awarded 2 flagship events of India Council. A conference, Indicon 2020, is going to be held between 11 to 13 June in Student Women in Engineering Young Life Members Congress 2020 to be held in Chitkara University in Chandigarh in the first week of 2020. We have successfully organized Delhi Student Congress for Rajasthan and Chandigarh subsections for students, women in engineering, and our young professional members. Section has got membership retention award consecutively for the last 3 years. With so many awards to earn it, as I look at IEEE Delhi section as a very promising team of professional minds. And now coming to this FTP, with high hopes, I wish every participant here benefit of knowledge disseminated by eminent speakers through this continuous flowing stream created by this team of Professor Huda. In the end, I congratulate Professor Huda and his team for successfully conducting this fifth FDP. Thanking you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
I now request Professor A.K. Saini, sir, Vice President, President-elect, Computer Society of India, Mumbai, to share a few words and enlighten us. Sir, please.
Good morning to all of you, respected dignitaries on the dais, Professor Prerna God, Professor Amita Dev, Professor Bakal, Professor Boda, and all my colleagues from different institutions across the country. It's really wonderful to join you all to this online session for this inaugural event of the FDP on a very important theme, that's emerging technologies for education and research. In fact, if you look at the incidents which have happened in the last few months, we all know that we are affected by corona, and we don't know much about it. We don't have any vaccine for it, and we don't know how long it's going to continue for us to really be suffering from this. But I think one thing which is very about this, it has taught us how to innovate, how to be creative, and it has really enabled all the participants, means across the country, from different uh, functional areas, how to really come up and continue your daily course using these technologies as such without moving from the. And the way impact has come to the education sector, because education sector was never prepared for it, to really have this kind of a scenario where the students actually are attending the classes to the online. So I think this FDP is really very relevant, because it is going to really help the different researchers and the members about the importance of online education. Of course, uh, we all appreciate the benefits and the disadvantages of online education also. But I think ultimately it really settle down to the blended mode, which is going to be useful to all. So we'll see all this in the coming days in this FDP. And I'm sure from the perspective of the Computer Society of India, I can assure you that the society is really working towards organizing a lot of webinars to really appreciate and give a lot of orientation to the students and the faculty members on the latest and emerging technologies, the cutting technologies, which are going to play a very vital role. Especially at the recent comment about just banning the Chinese app. I think it has thrown open a lot of challenge to the IT fraternity really come up and develop the homegrown solutions as such. I think our engineers and scientists and the faculty members and students, they will not be like behind. They'll come up very soon with alternative solutions also. And so, CSI is also trying to really provide all these support systems to different groups and financial institutions and research schemes to the students and faculty members to really take this forward. And because using they'll be able to develop their skills, and skills are very important today. Thank you so much, and I wish all this the participants who have joined from different parts of the country a successful time, learning time, so that they have very good from this. Thank you so much, and wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, sir, for your enlightening words.
Thank you.
Now I request Professor Bakal, sir, President IETE, New Delhi, to share a few words and enlighten us. Sir, please.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Chief guest of the function, Vice Chancellor of the Women's Technical University of Delhi, Madam Gaur from IEEE, my friend Mr. Saini from there from CSI as a Vice President, and the host of the FDP, Dr. M.N. Hoda, and participants from all over the India, students, those who are actually participating, though it is faculty development. Now, sort of this FDP, why it is required is basically you should have like this is train the trainers. As I mentioned last time also, like train the trainers is very difficult task because trainer never feel he need to be trained. But with changing scenario, and particularly the field of computer and IT, it is very dynamic in nature. And the telecom would have been the revolution of telecom, where I represent as a president of this IT. Now, recently, yesterday only, we got of our journal, which is factor has improved like anything, which is very good competitive. Where Sani sir was looking after earlier, factor in 19 it has improved. So we have like 4 journals, but out of that, like 2 are very important. Journal for research, which is for research. Almost all researcher publish paper, and IIT guides. Generally, they mention that you should publish your paper in IIT journal. There is a waiting period, but definitely there is a quality. Now coming back to this, because we are spread, and our motto is like reaching, and early was unreached by physical means. Now this, due to pandemic situation of COVID-19, it has given bad actually. Let us test ourselves whether we can reach or not. And I think Huda sir has given, it is proved that the success, I think this is second, third, and I think another is pipeline for FDP.
This is
So it has shown,
fifth
like,
FDP,
yes,
sir. This is fifth FDP, 6, 7 are in pipeline.
pipeline, yeah. So it means it has proved beyond doubt. So this way, if we go, and ours, like we are also conducting governing council through this platform only. So once, like, generally our governing council meeting goes near about 7 to 8 hours. So it was record break online. Governing council was held in the last month, and this month also we'll be having our July meeting. Saying all this, like why it is required to come together, like sir is taking all bodies together, because he has spread all over his, whether it is CSI, IT, IEEE, you just name a professional body he is connected with. And with I have gone through the schedule, and I found there are excellent speakers who will be delivering content for the teacher to come up. I have given example, and then this become actually it was, and the research. The last component was the research. So research, all of a sudden, it is a continuous process. It is not going to happen all of a sudden. The recent, like due to you at work at home, and you are finding then Ramayana, Mahabharata, wherein there was a mention in Ramayana about the Pushpak Viman. People have taken that concept of Pushpak Viman. Probably that time it was a theoretical for us. We have not seen, there was no witness from our end. Then a real plane came. So this research, whatever input has given, then it has taken. The same thing, like the current one is like Mahabharata. If you remember in Mahabharata, Dhritarashtra was asking everything what is happening on the battle through Sanjay, who is having that Dura.
डॉक्टर बाकल डिस्कनेक्ट हो गए शायद. हाँ
सर उनकी वीडियो, हाँ वीडियो आ रही है,
ऑडियो भी नहीं आ रही. डिस्कनेक्ट हो गए क्या?
नहीं सर, नेटवर्क इश्यू है सर उनके वहाँ पे.
अच्छा, तो
देयर इज सम लेटेंसी इशू आई थिंक. मतलब ऑडियो नहीं आ रहा है, वीडियो आ रहा है सर.
डॉक्टर बाकल, you are not audible.
Maybe bandwidth issue.
Might be. So no problem. I think you have put your point forward. So if there is some technical glitch, we can move forward.
Thank you, sir.
Dr. Bakal, please. Yeah, Dr. Vishal, you can move forward.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, Professor Jagdish Bakal, sir, for enlightening us. There, due to some network issue, we can continue it. Now, I would like to invite Professor M.N. Huda, sir, Director BVICAM New Delhi, for the welcome address and background note of 1 week faculty development program. Sir, please.
Good morning to every one of you. And at the outset, wish you a very healthy, safe stay at your home. Take care of all the regulations of the government. Friends, today's Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. Amita and my very old friend, the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Delhi Technical University of Women, IGDTUW, one of the premier institutions for women in Delhi. The guest of honors, Professor J.W.K. Bakal, President IT, my friend Professor A.K. Saini, Vice President cum President-elect, Computer Society of India, Dr. Prerna Gaur, the Professor of NLP and Chairperson of IEEE Delhi Section, Dr. Murli Rao, Chairperson of Computer Society Chapter of IEEE Delhi Section, Mr. R.K. Vyas, the National President of Computer Society of India, and many other dignitaries, participants from all parts of the country, my faculty colleagues, and one and all. It's my privilege to welcome you all in this 5th FDP. 4 FDPs, out of which 2 of 1 week duration and 2 of 2 weeks duration have already been concluded till last Saturday. This is the 5th FDP of 1 week duration, which is being organized in collaboration with all prestigious societies, professional societies in the country, that is IEEE Computer Society Chapter of Delhi Section, Computer Society of India CSI, Indian Society for Technical Education IIT, Safa Society, Institution of Electronics and Telecom Engineers, and under the banner of IIPC, Industry and Institute Partnership Cell of All India Council for Technical Education, New Delhi. Friends, the first question, why do we organize FDPs and why so many FDPs? The kind of situation with which the entire country has gone through since last almost 3 months, it was very difficult to understand that how can we ensure the normal life, how can we ensure a kind of routine and continuity in our day-to-day life. And when we saw initial 1 month, it was becoming very difficult. So I realized that there is a need to work for fellow teachers from all parts of the country and ensure that we are also working. The teachers from different parts of the country who are at their home because of lockdown or because of the compelling reasons put forward on account of the COVID should be engaged actively, and that too for academic purposes. That was the reason when we started conducting faculty development program, and the first program was launched right from 11th May 2020. And since then, this is the 5th program, 6th and 7th is in pipeline. Friends, that's how a great poet had. We could have also sat at homes peacefully, but we realized that this is time when every one of us take charge of involving and engaging people together. And that's how the great poet has said that आशियाने से बढ़कर है फिक्रे चमन, आशियाना तो फिर बना लेंगे. आशियाने से बढ़कर है फिक्रे चमन, आशियाना तो फिर बना लेंगे हम. एक उम्मीद की लौ मत रहे, 100 दिए से जला लेंगे हम. कोशिश यही थी कि जो लोगों की लाइफ की कंटिन्यूटी है वो चलती रहने चाहिए. छोटी मोटी प्रॉब्लम अगर किसी घर पे है, मेरे यहाँ या आपके यहाँ, तो वो प्रॉब्लम हमारे देश की प्रॉब्लम नहीं बननी चाहिए. इसलिए कहा आशियाने से बढ़कर है फिक्रे चमन, आशियाना तो फिर बना लेंगे हम. एक उम्मीद की लौ, जज्बा स्पिरिट एफडीपी अटेंड करना है, अपने को एंगेज करना है, और हमारी टीम एफडीपी ऑर्गेनाइज करना है, और टीम मेंबर अटेंड करना है. तो एक उम्मीद की लौ सलामत रहे, 100 दिए से जला लेंगे हम. Now many universities across the country have got inspiration, and if you see on daily basis, earlier there used to be only 1 hour or 2 hour webinar, but many universities in the country, after getting inspiration from these FDPs which Bharati Vidyapeeth have started launching 1 week and 2 week FDPs. They keep on calling me, trying to take some advice, trying to involve me in the process. That is the beauty of this process which we have started. And that's how a great poet has said, जो सफर की शुरुआत करते हैं वो मंजिल तो पा ही लेते हैं, क्योंकि अच्छे मुसाफिर का तो रास्ते भी. Having said that, friends, we all know that the outbreak of corona is very unfortunate, but we all have to admit that it is nothing but the result of our unbalanced lifestyle in an ecosystem of so-called advanced and developed civilization. Friends, COVID-19 pandemic says us that we must innovate, we must follow the race of the technology, we must follow the development race, but never ever on the cost of rules of nature. Rather, we must innovate and preserve the natural resources and the natural balances and ensure in a sustainable manner. Otherwise, the nature will take corrective action and will balance it. You see, the things which never could happen in last 50 years, that because of in terms of environment, because of COVID-19 has already happened without doing any effort. Most of the time, these pandemics are the result of these kind of unbalanced lifestyle, unbalanced development, unbalanced following of the race of the technology. And we also started believing that technologically we are so superior that we can do anything and everything on Earth. Friends, we were mistaken. The nature has taught us a lesson, and this is enough to understand that we are not God on Earth. There is some other force which can any moment and any time tell you are. And that's how a great poet has said, कुदरत तेरा रूठना भी जरूरी था, इंसान का घमंड टूटना भी जरूरी था, हर कोई खुद को ज़मीं पे खुदा समझ बैठा था, इंसान का यह भरम टूटना भी जरूरी. Friends, this FDP is the theme of this FDP is basically emerging technologies for education and research in the backdrop of Industry 4.0. When we are talking of Industry 4.0, I am reminded of my favorite philosophy that there is nothing constant in this world except. And if we do not change ourselves in a proactive manner, probably the ecosystem in and around us, the compelling pressure in and around us, the competitive forces working in and around us will change us. There are two examples which I want to cite before you, those who are still confused about the change, that all of you might have had the Nokia feature phone maybe 10-15 years ago. If I ask you today that how many of you have Nokia feature phone, possibly hardly 10% of the people might be having the Nokia feature phone, 90% might have replaced their phone. Had I asked this question 10-15 years ago, that how many of you have Nokia feature phone, or probably every one of you must have, at least 90% of you, if not everyone, might have replied that, yeah, I have a Nokia feature. As a teacher, as a student, as a learner, did we realize where Nokia went from? Such a strong product, such a robust product, such a product having this much brand value and loyal customizability, if can be replaced, everything and anything can be replaced. The problem with the Nokia was that at that moment, they failed to visualize the technological trend, or even if they visualize the technical trend, they fail to understand that the trend is coming so fast, so rapidly, that even such a robust product can be replaced from the market if we do not adapt to changes up front. That's the value of a change. Second example, if I ask you that maybe till 15th of March, how many of us were using Zoom, WebEx, Google Meet, GoToMeet, and Microsoft Teams, and so on and so forth? Probably none of us, at least for this kind of purposes. We were happy to come together at one central location, at one place, and then keep on meeting, greeting people, and then attending such kind of FTPs and lectures. But that's not possible now, and show a kind of the which teachers and students from the country, our own country, have shown that we are so agile that in a span of almost 15 days, just 15 days, by end of March, we started launching programs, we started launching meeting on Zoom and these kind of platforms. So this clearly says that change is the way of life. If we do not change ourselves upfront in a proactive manner, the environment will change us. Those who will not keep pace with the changes, the environment will change it. And that's how it is said that इंसान घर बदलता है, लिबास बदलता है, रिश्ते बदलता है, दोस्त बदलता बदलता है फिर भी परेशान क्यों रहता है? क्योंकि हम खुद को नहीं। ये हमारी परेशानी का सबसे बेसिक सबब है कि हम सब बदलाव की बात करते हैं। आई हैव गिवन टू वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एग्जांपल ऑफ द चेंज। हम सारे सब कुछ चेंज करने की बात करते, अपने बारे में नहीं सोचते। हमें अपने बारे में सोचना चाहिए। हाउ कैन आई चेंज माई सेल्फ फर्स्ट? एंड दैट्स हाउ अ ग्रेट पोएट गालिब सेड। उम्र भर गालिब यही भूल करता रहा, धूल चेहरे पे थी और मैं आईना साफ। मेरा मैसेज यह है फ्रेंड्स कि हम सारे के सारे लोग आईना साफ नहीं करेंगे, हम अपने को साफ करेंगे। हम ये इंश्योर करेंगे कि जो चेंज का प्रोसेस है हम उसके फॉलो नहीं होंगे, हम उसमें लीडर्स। Having sensitized you the kind of the change process with which we are going on, let me come back to Industry 4.0. I will take you around 6-7 more minutes because it's my prime responsibility to set the tone of this FDP for next 1 week, right? It is my responsibility to set the platform of this FDP, right, for next 1 week. Friends, we are in a pure digital age. All of you have agreed now that we are in a pure digital age, which is also known now as Industry 4.0. Without going into the background details of Industry 2.0, 2.0, Industry 3.0, and then differentiate Industry 3.0, Industry 4.0, let me tell you upfront the straight away the differences between the Industry 3.0 and Industry 4.0. In the Industry 3.0, which we normally claim that it was an IT-enabled world, whereas Industry 4.0 is IT-driven world. Industry 3.0 was also having penetration of IT, but not the way in which Industry 4.0, which is predominantly driven by the information and communication technologies. And a kind of examples of AI-enabled object and devices connected in and around us in form of Internet of Things, Internet of Everything, and omnipresence of technologies in our day-to-day life is the testimony to Industry 4.0. It is said that till Industry 3.0, technology models used to revolve around the business model. In fact, that was the trend from Industry 1.0, 2.0 till 3.0. But now you might have witnessed that in last 1 decade, so much of disruptive applications have started coming. All emerging software applications have disrupted almost decades old traditional business models. And friends, it will continue to disrupt most of the traditional business models and industries in future as well. And that too at a much faster pace with which it has disrupted in last 1 decade. And these two examples, particularly this online and digital learning platform and meeting platforms, are one of the testimony that it can disrupt almost centuries old traditional model of teaching learning in just 15 days time. That's the kind of disruption happening. And this disruption is for betterment. This disruption is for our benefit. WhatsApp, Paytm, Ola, Uber, mobile banking, mobile ticketing, mobile enabled payment system, etc., are very successful examples of this disruption and the change which has occurred in last 1 decade. Friends, in the changing ecosystem of Industry 4.0, the bottom line is that business model will be revolving around the technology model, which was vice versa in Industry 3.0. Gone are those days of going to the bank traditional business model, and the days are now the technology is revolving around the business model. The new business models are coming. Now you see doorstep delivery and the kind of the shopping experiences which have changed. That's all because of the changes in the business model, and the technology is going to support that business model, which was not possible in Industry 3.0. Friends, being from the academic world, having sensitized you with this background of Industry 4.0, all of us are supposed to be futuristic, adaptive to changes proactively, as education is no exception to this changing technology paradigm of Industry 4.0. And hence, I wanted to sensitize you all that education will also get disrupted, and that disruption has already started. After this COVID, probably this disruption would have come after 5 years, which has started at least before 5 years because of the COVID. Friends, in the last 3 months, all of us have the way we have changed the entire teaching learning process is again a testimony to that. And this is just a beginning of the major transformation which is happening in the entire teaching learning system. Gone are those old good days when teachers will keep on forcing students to maintain 75% attendance, that too in a physical classroom, making students to follow him or her desperately for getting a small piece of maybe 5-10 pieces of notes, that too maybe 10 years old, asking students forcibly to join all activities in campus irrespective of his or her choice or interest will now be, friends, the memories of the past. Under the changing ecosystem, educational processes have to be made as flexible as possible. The world has already started, the academic world outside the country had already started maybe around 5 years ago, that flexibility. And if we do not change, if we do not become flexible to meet the customized needs of every student, and that too with difference, and that's how the concept of differentiated classroom was introduced. Future teachers will be facilitator, coordinator, moderator, supervisor, etc., but not a tutor. We can't afford to remain just a tutor. Now the teaching learning resources will have to be teaching resources, teaching learning processes, teaching learning system and mechanism, including the evaluation and examination, will have to be designed in such a way that students are active learners and teachers are facilitators. This is what I'm talking. I'm setting a background of education 4.0. Unless we switch to education 4.0, we won't be in a position to contribute to education industry 4.0. And if we do not contribute to education industry 4.0 through education 4.0, possibly will be left too behind. Existing practices of the teachers deciding the course curriculum, any degree diploma program to go up, and the flexibility will need to be infused in the system to the extent that students will be empowered enough of selecting necessary and sufficient number of papers, maybe from different baskets. Basket could be interdisciplinary, could be cross-disciplinary, could even be transdisciplinary. And then out of those papers selected by the students based on their interests from different basket, could be a transdisciplinary basket, to earn the required number of, maybe if a 4-year degree program, we need for 200 credit for any student to be passed. So students may come up and tell 150 credit for 3-degree program, I will be completing from your institution, and remaining credit of remaining 50 credits I want to pursue from other universities, maybe 1 university, maybe 2 university, maybe 3 university, maybe within the country, maybe outside the country, and we will have no choice but to allow the credit transfer in this manner. And when this credit transfer is going to happen, then this implies under this system, students may not want to study all 4 years, or maybe for a 3-year program, all 3 years, and maybe for a 2-year program, all 2 years, in one institution of us, and pay fees for entire 3 years or maybe 4 years, what is happening now to that institution. Under this changing ecosystem, it is expected that it will be a regular phenomena, A, B, and C universities having enough flexibility, different universities having enough flexibility may be overcrowded with students, whereas A and Z universities with less flexibility or no flexibility in the system may not be getting students, maybe without a student. Exactly in the same way in which the open market, if you go to a mall, there are multiple marts there, and if you see 2-3 marts are overcrowded with customers, and rest of the marts have similar product, have got no customer. What are we talking? We are talking of a system in which the complete flexibility is given to students, and that we have seen almost 3-4 decades, that if you purchase a mobile number, maybe from Airtel, you are bound to remain Airtel. But now finally flexibility has come, maybe a year or 1.5 years ago, mobile number portability. The moment you feel that services are not good, you may switch one service provider to any other service provider at no cost. Imagine in education 4.0, if this flexibility is bound to happen. But if we do not provide quality to students, if we do not provide flexibility to students, if we do not allow the credit transfer, if we do not ensure that students are customers and institutions are going to run as an enterprise, imagine that students who will join me in first semester, in third semester, will not be with us. In third semester, he will go to some other university. Third and fourth, he may complete from that university. Then he may move to third university in fifth semester, so on and so forth. So what happened with the self-financing educational system of the country, that everything is dependent on fees. So this implies we have no choice but to provide quality. We have no choice but to provide flexibility. We have no choice but to ensure that our customers, our stakeholders, our students are getting desired input, required input, and are happy, are satisfied. And not only this, I'm a strong believer that existing assessment and examination system will also have to be overhauled. So much so that instead of a scheduled examination declared by university through examination, we need to start demand-driven examination. And when I'm talking of a demand-driven examination, I'm talking of a situation in which once a CEO clear a date sheet, a student may come up, may not be all, but some students who have got a problem may come up and tell, sorry, I'm not prepared for this exam. I'm busy on some project. I'm busy on some aspect, and I will inform you when I'm prepared for the exam. And under this flexible system of education 4.0, we will have no choice but to provide that. That is where the demand-driven examination is going to come up. Students will tell me, so this implies the universities, many of the universities in the world have started. They do not declare one schedule the way we declare in India. They declare 3-4 schedule from controller, from examination department. They declare 3-4 schedule, give option to the student in which slot you wanted to give examination. Just register for your slot. At least this is the beginning of the flexibility in the examination on demand-driven examination. But this entire examination system will be fully demand-driven. So what I'm talking nothing but re-emphasizing that education 4.0, students will be treated as a customer, and universities and institutions will have no option but to run themselves as an enterprise in order to retain their customers. Friends, these are some glimpses of education 4.0. Now, under this backdrop of changing technological paradigm, let's assess ourselves where we stand. That to which extent we are prepared to address to these challenges education 4.0, and if answer is no, then how are we going to be relevant in the changing technological paradigm of 4.0? We are not prepared for education 4.0, so how are we thinking that will be relevant in industry 4.0? That is where we need to change our learning process. That is where we need to change ourselves proactively. And if we do not do that, then possibly we will be left too behind. And that's how digital age of 21st century, it is said that the old definition written in government books of educated people, read, write, and speak, is no more valid. The 21st century digital age definition of educated people is if you can learn, unlearn, and relearn. That is the crux of the system. We have to continuously innovate. We have to continuously learn. And I have taught artificial intelligence for close to 15 years, but last 3-4 years, the way it's taken up momentum, the way it has become omnipresent in almost every walk of our life, that's a great change. The speakers from all of the professional domain have been invited. I'm sure if all of you participate proactively, if all of you take care of your engagements, because we have yesterday you might have seen that we have introduced assessment process, that there are a few slots declared, 4 slots, and participants have to choose any 2 slots and appear for those 2 slots for multiple choice questions test. And then after the 2 tests appear, 1 best will be considered for your assessment. That's the 40% evaluation. 40% evaluation is every day after completion of sessions, evening, you have to write a summary of the session. And not only summary of the session, the assignment sheet, Google document which have been forwarded to you, the assignment sheet says, first write summary, then also write what are your takeaways out of the sessions today, and then finally write that how will it change or your functioning in your institution. So that if you do, probably an active engagement will be happening. You will be not, you will here and there what the negativity is being spread because of the COVID. You will not remain initial. You will come up and contribute constructively for your assignment first, and the learning which is happening, you will continue this learning to be spread, to be percolated, to be disseminated with your colleagues at your institution, with your friends friends in the profession, and most importantly, with your students. That's the kind of expectation out of this FDP. Great speakers, proven speakers, tested speakers have been in this program. Take advantage of this, because that is more important. Having attended a program is not sufficient. You need to understand that how passionate I'm driving driving my interest, how passionately I'm engaged in this particular program. And that's how, regarding passion, that how passionate, once you are passionate, you forget that where have you attained your benchmark, where have you fulfilled your benchmark, and are you behind the benchmark or ahead of the benchmark. That you will never look here and there. That's how Bashir Badr, for the passion, says that आंखों में रहा दिल में उतर कर नहीं, कश्ती के मुसाफिर ने सफर नहीं देखा। दुनिया तो बहुत बड़ी थी, कहने और करने के लिए बहुत कुछ था, हमें सीखने के लिए बहुत कुछ था, लेकिन हम कश्ती में चलते रहे, समंदर तो देखा ही नहीं हमने। तो हमें समंदर का मुसाफिर बनना है, हमें ओशियन का मुसाफिर बनना है, न कि कश्ती में रह के दरिया में चलता रहना है कि आंखों में रहा दिल में उतर देखा, कश्ती के मुसाफिर कभी समंदर नहीं देखा। जब से चला हूं मंजिल पे मेरी नजर है, रास्ते में कभी मील का पत्थर नहीं देखा। तो आपकी मंजिल है। एफडीपी के बाद जब आप जाएं तो आपके पास सफिशिएंट इनपुट होना चाहिए, सफिशिएंट लर्निंग होनी चाहिए, आपका ये क्वालिटी टाइम एक सफिशिएंट पर्पस के लिए इन्वेस्ट होना चाहिए। इस के साथ आप इस एफडीपी में आए हैं, इस एफडीपी को अपने लिए, अपने कलीग्स के लिए और अपने स्टूडेंट्स के लिए अगर अच्छा बनाएं तो हमें भी खुशी होगी, हमें अच्छा लगेगा। और लास्टली मैं ये कहना चाहता हूं, हम सब टीचर्स हैं, प्रॉब्लम्स हमने सोसाइटी में, कंट्री में इन अराउंड देखा है, शायद वो से है कि हम अपनी प्रायोरिटीज को, हम अपनी जिम्मेदारियों को, वी पीपल हैव फॉरगॉटन आवर ओन रिस्पांसिबिलिटीज। एंड टू कंटिन्यू, आई वांटेड टू टेल यू, our responsibilities are not only to produce good professionals, but first we have to produce good human beings. Then our priority is to produce good citizens of the country, and then next is our priority to produce the good professionals. How to keep balance amongst all these three? Better human is the first priority, good citizen is the second priority, quality professional is the third priority, and in the same manner this priority should be executed. The moment we reverse it, the moment we make good quality as our first priority, probably again we create an imbalance for the society. So with in the same order, human, good citizens, quality professional, we teachers have got prime duty to produce, first change ourselves, then ensure we change people. And COVID is still spreading in the country. तो बशीर बद्र का ही एक शेर तकरीबन 50 साल पहले कहा गया था, वो आज के दौर में बहुत रिलेवेंट है। जो आज डिस्टेंस, सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग नहीं करना, फिजिकल डिस्टेंसिंग करना, फिजिकल डिस्टेंसिंग के लिए कहा है कि जो कोई हाथ भी ना मिलाएगा जो गले मिलोगे तपाक से, कोई हाथ भी मिलाएगा जो गले मिलोगे तपाक से, ये नए मिजाज का शहर है, जरा फासले से मिला करो। हम सब फासले पे हैं, लेकिन अपनी लर्निंग को नहीं रोकना, अपनी लर्निंग को जारी रखना। I'm sure all of you who have come from different parts of the country, from great institutions, I've seen almost 80% participants are from the premier government institutions of the country and from entire length and breadth of the country. You name a state and we have close to 79 participants in the paid parts of the FDP, and we have a participant from that state. That's the beauty of penetration of our program across the length and breadth of the country. In this program, we do not have foreign participant, but last 4 program we had 4 or 5 participants from different foreign countries, particularly from Middle East we had the participants. So I'm sure that the kind of the speakers we have invited, the kind of the deliberation which are going to happen, you will engage yourself in active activities, make use of chat window, because once you write your good questions, interested questions in the chat window, a speaker get tempted, and then a speaker start delivering input according to that temptation which you create out of the questions writing in the chat window. This kind of facility, that whatever comes in your mind you can write in the chat window, and when a speaker is speaking, he can pay attention to the chat window and see that what questions are coming. Accordingly he can mold the lecture. Not possible in the physical world. It is not possible that every time you stop the teacher in the classroom and ask the question. Most of the time teachers say that let me complete 50 minutes, you ask the question. But this online system, you keep on posting question in the chat window. Thank you so much. I have taken a little more time, but my was to set the platform to tell you what for the FDP is, what for the Industry 4.0 has been made as a theme. Thank you so much, and I take this opportunity to pay my gratitude to my very special guest today, Dr. Amita Dev, the Honorable Vice Chancellor of IGDTUW, and my friends from different professional societies who are heading Dr. Bakal, who is heading IET as the National President, Dr. Pirnagor, who is heading IEEE Delhi section, Professor A.K. Saini, who is heading Computer Society of India as a Vice President, President-elect, and other people who could not get time to speak today. Thank you so much, sir. Wish you all the best, and I all gratitude to all my friends who readily agreed to my invitation and grace this occasion. And thank you so much, and all the best to all my participants for next 5 days with us. Let's be active, let's be engaged. We, entire team of this FDP, is there to give you queries and answer your queries, is there to help you to facilitate your learning. Thank you so much, and Dr. Vishal, over to you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your enlightening words. We have a great privilege for all for having Dr. Amita Dev Madam with us as the chief guest of the inaugural session of 1 week faculty development program. Madam is a vice chancellor of IGDTUW Delhi. She has excellent track record of administration, quality, teaching, innovation, and research. She has passion for teaching and research. She has published 63 plus research papers in various international and national journals of Scopus and the CIs. She is the recipient of many awards in recognition to her valuable and worth research contributions. Conferred with the national level AICT Young Teacher Career Award with research for pursuing advanced research in the areas of Hindi speech recognition using connectionist model. National level Best Engineering Teacher Award from ISTE for significant contribution in the field of research and technology. Rajaram Babu Patil National Award by ISTE. National level CONS Education Excellence Award for significant contribution in education excellence. State level Best Teacher Award by Government of NCT of Delhi. Vidya Saskan Abhiyan Award on 8th March 2017 by Honorable Minister of HRD Government of India for spreading digital literacy. Numerous appreciations have been received from senior officials of Delhi government for the exemplary performance, dedication, and devotion towards the work and institute, and for outstanding contribution in the field of technical education. Under the regime, Ambedkar Institute of Technology has been conferred Outstanding Institute Award twice, 2007-8 and 16-17 by NITTR Chandigarh. Both the institutes, AI and Bhai Parman Institute of Studies, have been conferred with international accreditation by Asia Pacific Accreditation Commission for Certification, only government institute in the country. She has worked as a chief admission officer mentor for the past 12 years for the Institutes of Technology under the Development of Technical and Training Education. As the Bachelor of Vocational Coordinator under the Guru Gobind Singh University, she has taken initiatives for the introduction of work programs in institutes of technology under the DTE and received appreciation certification from Guru Gobind Singh University. I heartily welcome you, ma'am, at Vidyapit Institute of Computer Applications and Management. Now I request ma'am to please enlighten us with your knowledge and wisdom. Ma'am, please.
Thank you, Vishal, for such a vast biodata which you have read for me. And a very, very good morning to Professor Huda, Professor Seni, Professor Prerna Gaur, Dr. Vishal, and renowned academicians who are present in the morning, distinguished faculty members, researchers, scholars, and my very dear participants. At the outset, I must say, I was truly mesmerized Professor Huda, what all spoke about Industry 4.0, Education 4.0, and whatnot. Perhaps that's a true example of what Industry 4.0 is. Rather than giving a bookish knowledge about Industry 4.0, I think we all are passing through unpredictable, unprecedented, unimaginable times where somehow or the other we are utilizing Industry 4.0. Just a little about Indira Gandhi Delhi University for Women. It's the first government women technical university in Asia established in the year 2013. And now with the mission for women education, women enlightenment, and women empowerment, almost 3,000 students. So when Professor Huda was talking about changes in education sector, I was wondering, on 18th March, suddenly we all went into the lockdown mode. And perhaps we thought we will start regime maybe the very next day. And it all happened that till date we are under, almost I can say, especially the education sector is under the home, wherein others have opened, the unlock has begun, but we are witnessing a complete lockdown in the education, universities, colleges, schools. Various meetings with the government really makes us worried what will be the state. So it was 18th March when we started wondering what will happen, and suddenly when Honorable Prime Minister announced a complete lockdown, we were taken aback. Perhaps it looked every avenue, every possibility, every way to move ahead is closed. But rightly said, when the going gets tough going, tough time last, but the tough people do. Immediately, we switched over to the online mode, decided to have numerous meetings online, and I took somehow a firm decision we are not going to hold. Let's have all of our evaluation, let's have all our classes, all of our assessments, every assessment, the way it be, whether it's a subjective assessment, practical assessment will happen. And believe me or no, we succeeded. Within 10 days, we developed a learning management software, a platform which we controlled remotely from our server at IGDTUW, did practical assessments, did all our midterm theory assessments, and at the end, did all our end term examinations, completed every assignment because finally our students reached back to me. There were 23 girls who got 43.3 lakhs of package Microsoft, and they were wondering, "Ma'am, what will happen? If our exams are not over, what will happen? Will we be losing our jobs?" I said, "Don't you worry. Your exams will finish before the due date, which was to happen manually, online. That's my commitment. Everything will finish and you people will join." And I'm glad we finished everything on 10th of July. Literally everything, 10th of June, sorry, 10th of June we finished. And now it is only the evaluation online is going on. Student is able to see the copy, what the teacher is evaluating. Teacher is able to answer him back or her back as to where the marks have been cut and why not. The practical examinations are going on, and also our all statutory body meetings. Believe me, arranging a statutory body meetings, otherwise in an offline, was a very, very tough time. Getting all the senior people across from all over India, arranging their stay, arranging their flight tickets and everything. It used to be a mammoth task. I think it was just 45 minutes it took me to arrange a statutory body. That is what the change has been. And finally, I must say that Industry 4.0, the biggest example cited is by COVID, and that too by the education sector. The most disruptive sector is the education sector, which has seen a complete paradigm shift. I truly agree with my speakers who have just spoken in the beginning, Professor Seni, Professor Huda, who have been talking, have been so used to working in manual mode where all right, the things will happen. We were aware of the online modes, but then we were taking it back and we were literally somehow stopped from utilizing it. And today is the day when everything has gone online, and tomorrow it will be when it will be online plus in a blended mode. Perhaps we all will get used to it, and rightly said, it is better that I change with time. We keep on cribbing, this is not right, that's not right, and finally we find that there is something not right with me. If I set everything right with myself, if I polish myself, if I clean up myself, and if I watch myself in that same old mirror, but changing myself, and I think we can change this world. And finally, it is all about unlearning, learning new things, not only skilling, but upskilling and reskilling. That is the mantra. If we have to be up with the technology. Believe me, the disruption which we are watching, this kind of a disruption has happened perhaps after 100 years. With COVID, the way things have changed, it was somewhere 100 years back, people had witnessed. It means the planet, people who are living on this planet, for the first time, every human being is witnessing that change. But then, when there are obstacles, there are hurdles, there are more avenues, it opens plethora of opportunities how best we can do. And one example is this FDP program, which Professor Uda has organized, that rather than sitting back and wondering that nothing is working, make sure not only things are working, but they are working in a perfect, excellent manner. So that's really great, and I'm honored to be here this morning with you all. Now, coming back to Industry 4.0. This Industry 4.0, usually described as online transformation from traditional manufacturing and industrial practices combined with smart technologies, and which focuses on Internet of Things. New terminology which has come up is machine to machine. We have been talking of business to business, business to consumer, consumer to business, and C2C. Now, Industry 4.0 brings you machine to machine, which means increased automation, improved application, and self-monitoring. And journey to fourth industrial revolution, it all started with 1770 when it was a change from hand production methods to machines use of steam power, water power. Then second industrial revolution way back somewhere in 1870, which saw extensive railroad network, telegraph, faster transfer of people, faster transfer of ideas, and electricity, which allowed factory electrification, modern production lines. And third industrial revolution, which people have already spoken, somewhere started in 1950, 1970s, rise of electronics, telecommunication, computers, internet, also called as digital revolution. It really takes me back to the year 1980 when I was teaching to MTNL, and it was so new to India, and I could manage to get 16 kbps modem, and our multimedia internet lab was inaugurated by Secretary Training and Technical Education, Government of Delhi, and it was considered to be a remarkable achievement. That was a time when we somewhere in 1980s or so, and now you see the paradigm shift, the way they have changed. Today, even a small child uses Alexa to switch on AC, to switch on lights, to switch on every electric gadget, and this is actually happening at home. People are using Alexa now more, make me up this time, and taking puzzles with it, that what am I thinking? I was amazed when I was interacting with Alexa yesterday, and I'm thinking something, and I started Alexa that, yes, tell me what am I thinking. By posing some questions, Alexa could intrude in my mind and guessed it right. Yes, I'm talking of Elon Musk. That is the power AI is having. It is all there to capture, go inside your brain, read your mind, what you are thinking, and then perhaps customize everything as per your requirement. The fourth industrial revolution. This is what is the industrial revolution of disruptive technologies. And believe me, these disruptive technologies are going to be there at least for 2 to 3 decades. And the trend it is setting, whether you talk of Internet of Things, robotics, virtual reality, augmented reality, blockchain, digital twin, they're the way we live and we work. And this was started and this was given in World Economic Forum somewhere in 2016. And in 2016, the World Economic Forum announced opening of its Center of Fourth Industrial Revolution in San Francisco. And what are these technologies which I'm talking, these disruptive technologies? You see, we are using them knowingly, unknowingly. Our day starts with disruptive technologies, but somehow we feel that it has become a part of our life. We don't realize. But then we engineers, we technocrats, we academics, we don't even have to just use it. We have to produce it. We have to work for it. We have to be ready not only just to use them, to prepare our young ones, our youth, to work for it. You all know India having 65% demographic dividend. Our youth is all set to grab all these industrial revolutions, all these disruptive technologies. But then they will be ready if I am ready. They will be able to be skilled if I am skilled. I will be able to impart them a knowledge if I do unlearn to relearn the new things. And these disruptive technologies, which are autonomous things, augmented analytics, driven developments, digital twins, empowered edge, immersive experience, blockchain, smart spaces. From smart spaces, other day I went to Gurgaon in just 4 months, and even a property person, property dealer is talking, ma'am, we are giving you a smart space. Though they are not educated, but from a technology perspective, they know what is to be, what will sell, and they say this whole society is a space we are providing. Where the moment you end up landing here, you will have a parking which goes through AI-driven parking, which will guide you. You will have your lights on the moment you enter. You can set up your ACs, what level you want. When you want the washing machine to be on, you can do it from home, and so on and so on. The kind of examples he was citing, and I was astonished. Just a simple property dealer, perhaps whether he's graduate or no, I wonder, but was talking of smart space. In the past 5 years, if you feel autonomous driving, people used to talk about autonomous driving, and we used to laugh then, and we said, just not possible. Sometimes over a period, we started shifting from not possible to maybe possible to definitely possible, and now it is simply inevitable, and finally it is commercially available. That is what is autonomous driving, autonomous technology. That is what is Industrial Revolution 4.0. You will be amazed to know somewhere in December 2018, Waymo, the company that emerged from Google self-driving cars, started its commercial self-driving in the suburbs of Phoenix. And they are shipping refrigerators from one corner to the other corner using self-driving trucks. It is a reality. It is not just on papers we are talking, it is a reality. And by one account, this driverless technology will have $7 trillion global economy and will save hundreds and thousands of lives in the coming decades. Simultaneously, it could be devastating also. As rightly said, if we don't change, we will be left behind. So it will have a devastating change in the auto industry and associated gas stations, drivers, taxi drivers, truckers. Some people will prosperous, the ones who do not change, the ones who do not keep pace with the technology, they will be left behind. You will be amazed to know even the refrigerators are being delivered by autonomous trucks from Texas to California, which is quite astonishing, but it is happening. What it is using laser sensors, it is using stereo cameras combined with data through sensor fusion to generate 3D maps. They deploy even molecular cameras for detecting traffic lights and decoding road signs. Finally, using machine learning, deep learning to enhance vehicle performance, and now striving hard to achieve precision localization, because it has to make a difference. Is it a piece of paper lying on the road? Is it a big rock on the road? Or there is otherwise some obstacle? So you need a precision localization. And I believe Tesla, Elon Musk has actually done it. Technology trend for 2020, as this autonomous things proliferate, we expect a shift from standalone intelligent things to the swarm of collaborative intelligent things. People talking of intelligence things, everyone is talking that this is AI powered, AI driven, but today we are not only talking of isolated intelligent things, but we are talking of a swarm of collaborative intelligent things with multiple devices connected together, either independently or dependently with the help of human input. For example, if a drone examines a large field and finds that it is ready for harvesting, perhaps it can dispatch an autonomous harvester which can do the harvesting. I think just a few days back, if I'm not wrong, when I was reading a newspaper, Pratap, a 22 years old small boy from Madhya Pradesh, he is now known as a drone scientist, has developed over 600 drones. And he has been invited to over 87 countries from India to showcase his drones. And he has worked in over 6 major projects, including for defense purposes. So that's the power which all Indians possess, our young minds possess. It's a question of training them. And it's a reality. He has developed 600 drones. He is not a great engineer from a very reputed college. He's just an ordinary graduate. And this drone technology is one such innovation that has emerged from Industry 4.0. And during the floods which happened very recently, Pratap has used this technology in Karnataka, where thousands of people were stranded, and he used this indigenous drones to provide food and other relief material to the affected areas. Now, Honorable Prime Minister is offering him a seat in DRDO, because otherwise such mines, if they are not captured rightly, they go abroad. But this gentleman, he decided to be in India and serve to the nation. So that's another message which I really want to pass to the young generation. We say that yes, we have talented people, we have talented engineers, we have the best of the best institutions, but after acquiring the best of the best knowledge, we decide to go and serve outside. Believe me, we are the best, India is the best, and let's work for our motherland. Some of feel that very passionate about it, that we are the great country. We all should work for India. The way Pratap decided to work for India. If you look at it, it's not only Tesla. I just cited one example. General Motors, Tesla, Bio, and many other companies, they are there. And they are all going to change the signaling process on the roads by putting autonomous vehicles. Very recently, IIT Madras also competed in the SpaceX Hyperloop competition, which held in 2019 in Los Angeles, done by Elon Musk, and he truly appreciated, and they got an admiration award by Tesla, by Elon Musk. Believe me, Elon Musk also, very recently I was seeing the advertisement where he's inviting people to join. What is the qualification he's asking? He says, qualification no bar. It means I don't need a qualification. What I need is a right mind, a changed mind, a mind which is innovative, mind which can think differently. You will be amazed to know, other day I was reading, Google has 40% of the people who are without degrees, without any form of degree. Coming over to augmented analytics, which I talked about, this is another disruptive technology which is going to us and us by leaps and bounds. And this augmented analytics, it focuses on specific areas of augmented intelligence, using machine learning, transform analytics, contents it develop, we consume, and we share. Augmented analytics, it automates the process of data insight generation, insight visualization, eliminating the need of professional data scientists in many situations. You know, a new terminology coming nowadays is citizen data science. This will eventually lead to citizen data science, an emerging set of capabilities and practices that enable users whose main job is outside the field of statistics and analytics to extract predictive and prescriptive insight data. It is expected that the number of citizen data scientists will grow 5 times faster than the number of expert data scientists. I think many of us have not even heard of these terminologies. And believe me, NASCOM was predicting, other day when I was talking to Chintala, she was talking that perhaps 70% jobs are there in the computer industry, which we have not even thought of. That these jobs, what shape they will take, we even do not know what terminology they will be called. One terminology I've just given you, citizen data science. Look at that kind of the data. Google currently processes over 20 petabyte of data per day. I'm talking of petabyte. Per day, it is processing 20 petabyte of data. Google receives almost 63,000 searches per second in any given day. It averages to almost 2 trillion searches per year, 3.8 million searches per minute, 228 million searches per hour, and 5.6 billion searches per day. Imagine the amount of data. Gone are the days when I used to work a small sheets, I had a limited data. Today, we are talking of this kind of a data. Vast majority of the data generated is from the last 2 years. If I talk of how much data is there today I'm talking in the world a data of around 5 to 6 zettabyte. And this 5 to 6 zettabyte, which is going to grow to 20 zettabyte in the coming few years. How much years it has been generated? Can you believe this data has been generated in the past 3 to 4 years? 90% of the data, which is 5 to 6 zettabyte, has been generated in the past 3 years. And to deal with this kind of a data, now we don't use the term system analyst and others. You will have new terms like data analyst, data engineers, database administrators, machine learning engineers, data scientists, data architect, and I talked about people like which are just a scientist who do not have a degree, but they are working with us, statisticians, business analysts. These are the new job roles. Who will prepare them? Perhaps a bookish knowledge will not help. Perhaps the title I found it very fascinating, which said, Preparing for Industry 4.0. Which, when I look at our education system, believe me, I must say, we all need a holistic change within ourselves. We always blame the student the other side. Student is not good. Student is not performing. I always feel maybe I am not performing. Maybe I'm not good. Maybe I need to learn. Maybe I need to know about all these innovative technologies. Maybe I have to be prepared for Industry 4.0. Only then I have a right to blame a student. A student is not performing. We all need to work hard. We all need to change and acquire to these disruptive technologies. Not only use them, learn them, work upon them. That's more important. Then AI-driven development. I think our day starts with AI. We end up with AI. We go to the Google predictive search and search that I'm looking for something. Google uses a recommendation system and it shows me what all I was looking for. Sitting at home, I'm looking at what is the best food because we don't get time to go much into the kitchen. This COVID has put us at home and we are spending some more time into the kitchen. So I was looking at some of the recipes. After a few days, it started showing me all the best recipes, the low calorie recipes, and so on and so forth. So that is a part of AI and which we are using every day. And starting from Google predictive search engine, which recommendation for us, and how is it making recommendation? Using deep learning, using machine learning. I remember just 6 months back when I went to Kaziranga and there was a rhinoceros. You all know there is a single horn rhinoceros. I thought, let me use a Google Lens. How good it is. From a distance of more, I think, 30 meters, when I put a Google Lens on the rhinoceros and it gives me an answer, perhaps you are in Kaziranga and it is a single horn rhinoceros. I was zapped. I was astonished. It was unbelievable for me, and I was picking up fights with my colleagues that no, it's not search, but I was wrong. Google Lens was right. Just a small seed was there and a small bush was there, and it is all bushes. I decided to put a Google Lens on that bush to see, can it recognize? To my amazement, yes, it recognizes it correctly. What is this? It's all deep learning. It's all machine learning. It really takes us back when we find that this all is happening in our day-to-day work. Similarly, if I was reading the other day, JP Morgan, that is a finance sector, they normally used to take 36,000 hours to review 12,000 finance agreements. Now they have deployed AI technique, which now they are able to review it. Similarly, Watson, I think you are all aware of it. IBM Watson is able to cross-reference 20 million oncology records to diagnose a leukemia condition. Otherwise, it is virtually not possible. Similarly, social media, Facebook, we all on Facebook, we all using Twitter, we are all using Instagram, and we are all using auto tagging feature, face verification, and it's happening. It is using deep learning. Twitter recently discovered 3 lakh terrorist accounts, where 95% of terrorist accounts are founded by non-human using AI and deep learning. Google virtual response to calls. Google has really come up with Google Duplicate, which is astonished millions of people. It adds human filters and it is able to respond to the call. It is able to book appointments. It is able to do business with the team, and it is very, very difficult to figure out is it a human being, is it a Google virtual assistant. This task was given to find out and differentiate whether it is a virtual assistant speaking or is it a human being. 70% of the people could not find out the difference. We nowadays during COVID time, at night or during our leisure time, are going to Netflix. If Netflix, it personalizes movie recommendations. The complete survey indicates 75% of the time what we watch, it is proposed by deep learning. Even HDFC Bank has developed a chatbot called as EVA, Electronic Virtual Assistant, which is handling more than 3 million customer queries. Just implemented narrow AI. What all examples I have cited, these all are examples of narrow artificial intelligence. You know what? There are 3 spheres of AI. Today, the whole world, the planet is working on narrow AI. Future is yet to come, which will be strong AI. And then finally, we have to be ready to be embraced by super AI. You can very well imagine if this is a narrow AI, what the future would be with the super AI. And what preparedness we all academicians do to train the minds. Digital twin, yet another disruptive technology which is very, very fascinating is digital twin, which is relating to the digital representation of the real world entity. By 2020, it is, or by another 2 years, because COVID has sort of suppressed everything, there will be 20 billion connected sensors and endpoints, and digital twins will exist for potentially billion of organizations implement digital twin simply at first. It will evolve over time, improving their ability to collect, visualize, apply the right analytics and rules, and respond effectively to business objectives. Digital twins are nothing but they are virtual replica of physical devices and data sciences. And you will be amazed to know Volkswagen is using this technology, which is referred to digital twin, and allowed Volkswagen to create digital 3D prototypes of their different car models. If I go to the edge, another technology trend for 2022, the edge refers to the endpoint developers used by people or in the world around edge computing, a computing topology in which information processing and content collection and delivery is placed closer to the endpoints. I remember we used to talk of, when we were studying, we used to talk of centralized system. I used to talk of centralized server. Even to do a programming in C, we used to Sector 17, Chandigarh, and take some time on that mainframe system to do some kind of the processing, compilation, and next day to take the output from there, where the technology has gone from those centralized to decentralized to distributed, and now talking of edge computing, where the information processing and content collection and delivery is close to the end to keep the traffic and processing local, with the goal being reduce traffic and reduce latency time. Definitely when we are dealing with petabyte, to go reduce the traffic and reduce the latency. And in the coming 5 years, specialized AI chips along with processing powers and storage and advanced capabilities will be adding a wider array to the edge devices. 5G, 5G, which is going to again change the world completely with lower latency, higher bandwidth, most importantly, a dramatic increase in the number of nodes which is going to happen, and immersive experience. And yet another technology trend for the coming decade. Conversational platforms are changing the way people interact with the real world. Virtual reality, augmented reality, and mixed will become a new norm of life. It will change the way people perceive the digital world. A combined shift in perception and interaction model to the future immersive user experience. Blockchain, a type of another disruptive technology which is going to take the whole finance sector more so in the coming 2 decades. A type of a distributed ledger promises to reshape industry by enabling trust, providing transparency, reducing friction across business ecosystem. The whole thing will move on trust. That really reminds me when I said that yes, we have subjective paper. The academicians were talking to me, how can you have a subjective papers and how will you trust the student? I said, online platforms improve academic integrity. Believe me, academic integrity, the research has been done, it says more academic integrity in the students you can witness by having online teaching. More integrity you can witness among the student community by having open book test. More academic integrity you will see when you go in a blended mode. So, blockchain is also a thing where most of the finance sector is going to rely upon in the coming few decades, and it is going to believe it's going to work only trust, trust, and trust. Smart spaces. Yet another technology trend for the coming decade, a digital environment where human and technology enabled systems, they will interact very openly, connected, coordinated, and intelligent ecosystem will be there, which will people, processes, services, things to come together in a smart space to create a more immersive, interactive, and automated experience. Finally, when we are talking so much of digital technology, I think it cannot live unless until I, I prevail with digital ethics and digital privacy. Yet another trend which is going to take for the coming decade, digital ethics and privacy is the growing concern because everything is going digital, so ethics have to be there. People will be having increasing concern about their personal information, which is being used by organizations, by public, by private sector, and then backlash will not only increase organizations that are not proactive addressing these concerns, it will have a fallback. That's been hearing even government issuing advisories not to use Zoom because for all, any government transactions because it is not secure. It is private. Then quantum computing. And another trend which you will witness is the quantum computing is a on quantum state of subatomic particles, which is electrons and ions that represent information as elements which are quantum bits. Finally, nanotechnology. Nanotechnology, which is all going to stay and which is going to make the future. And I think industry 4.0 is an amalgamation of all these disruptive technologies. We academicians have to be to embrace these technologies. As rightly said, if I embrace it, I will flow with these technologies. I will always be affected and I will feel comfortable. And if I don't, I will be left behind. Perhaps my future will be dark. And for academics, it's all the more important because it's not only my future which is going to go dark, it is the future of thousands, millions, billions, and trillions of young generations with whom I am dealing. So finally, I conclude by saying that it is not right to education we are looking at, right education. We are not looking at a teacher, a brilliant teacher. We are looking at a brilliant mentor. We are not looking at only that I'm learning things. No, I'm looking at something to learn new things. We are not looking at let me enhance my skills. I'm looking at reskilling and upskilling myself, and I need to fire the imagination of very thankful to Bharti Vidyapeeth for giving me this opportunity to interact this morning. Have a wonderful hearing to all, and I wish all the participants a great learning experience. I'm sure they will have numerous takeaways from here, and all the best to everyone. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for this wonderful, fabulous inaugural speech, and it is highly motivated speech to all the participants also. And I now request Professor Huda sir to few words.
Your life of Industry 4.0 has definitely set the platform right for the purpose of next. In the career of these all young teachers, when they will be going back to their institution and talking to their colleagues. So, and you are always a kind of source of strength to me. Anytime I can ring you up and request you, ma'am, so and so time you are supposed to with me, and you always say yes. Thank you so much. I'm personally.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, Doctor, you may continue with your sessions.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much to all the technical societies, IEEE Computer Society of India, IST, and eminent guest members, honorable chief guest members, for giving your valuable time for this inaugural session of faculty development. Now, without much delay, we are going to start our first technical session with Mrs. Ekta Gupta and the Ravi Kantya. Now, I request Mr. Ravi sir and Mrs.
Hello, sir.
Ekta ma'am.
Good morning.
Sir, good morning. How are you, sir?
Sir, okay.
Welcome again at
Good
Bharati
morning, sir.
Vidyapeeth
Good morning,
Institute
Huda,
of
sir.
Computer Applications and Management, sir. And a great pleasure to receive you again in the FDP course. Now it's your platform, sir. You can take over
Okay, sir.
for this, sir.
Yeah, Ravi, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Now the FDP and FDP participants are with you.
Yes, now it's on me. So do not worry about their technical skills. I'll take care of them.
Oh, please go ahead.
Okay, sir.